Hello, 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 Internet. Welcome once again to the Always Online Gaming Podcast brought to you by MMO Bomb. Your home for all things on multiplayer, whether they're free or not related. I'm your host, Mike Byrne, a.k.a. Magicman. Putting that out there because somebody on YouTube asked if I don't use Magicman because I must have forgotten to say it on a video or two. So we'll get it in there. Make sure that we're using it. Welcome to the show. We got a busy one for you today. We're going to talk a little bit about the Activision Blizzard stuff simply because we didn't have a podcast last week. We did go very, very in-depth, basically the whole episode of Gaming Gumbo last Saturday with Jason, myself, and Zach Sharps. So if you want to check that out, readycheckradio.com. You can watch that entire show. But we are going to hit the high points on it today and get some opinions. Then we've got some miscellaneous news and stuff right there and a few first looks, including one that's kind of falling in the, you either love the game or you hate the game. And people that hate the game liked his first look. People that love the game did not.
Not so much.
So we're going to give him a chance to defend his position here. Joining me, as always, Mr. Jason Winter. What you have syrup in your background.
Look, I needed an emergency thing to stick back there. I had pancakes for breakfast. Whatever.
Emergency item found.
Yep,
Emergency item located.
But I did think in turn, just for this cast, just to make Troy happy, I just could do like this the whole time.
I'm actually reframing your shot a little bit.
If you don't get that joke, you don't watch our videos on YouTube, and you're a bad person.
Yes.
Yes, you are a very bad person. Also on the line, you can already hear him. He's complaining about stuff already. Mr. Troy Blackburn, a.k.a. the Noob Fridge. What's up?
Hey, I got plenty of random crap in my background. We're working on building a studio, so I'm starting to pile up junk in this room again. So yay! And dogs barking right on cue. Good job, dogs.
Are you
like I told them to?
Are you feeling better? You had the my corona.
Yes, I did have the corona, and I am feeling better. I'm still sinusy a little nasally. Makes me sound even more country than I already usually do, but we're rolling with it. So
before we get started, gentlemen, we got a box.
Yeah. Mystery box.
We got a mystery box. Now, I have a few boxes outstanding. One from Nude Retired Men's Volleyball, that Steam game. Mihoyo is sending something over. Perfect World, I think. Like, there's a few outstanding. I don't know who this is from, though, because all it says is shipping department, and I gave them my address, and it's usually, like Mike Byrne, care of MMO Bomb or whatever. This says MMO Bomb headquarters. So,
oh, I didn't know that was the headquarters.
Yeah. I have no idea who it's even from. It's from the shipping department. So let's take a look.
HQ.
Okay, so it's from Cryptic. It's from
So
Cryptic
it's from
So it's from Daybreak.
Oh no, it's from
Or not Daybreak. It's from
Borderlands. Those guys.
Yeah. Cryptic Studios, Perfect World Entertainment. So this is one of the things that was outstanding. I have no idea what they were sending.
Okay. Are you sure it's not retired nude men on the beach?
It's more of that cardboard packaging that they
I
do.
saw when Wilfredo was doing that Star Trek thing. There were a lot of naked people on the beach, nearly so. When he was doing
Speaking of that, the week of February 7th, Wilfredo's going to be doing a Neverwinter giveaway stream with Perfect World. So we'll plug that now. You'll see more about it on MMO Bomb next week. This is apparently from I got two cards here. One I thought it was going to be just Star Trek, but it's Star Trek and Neverwinter. So here's a little card just talking about Shadows Advance, which we reported on yesterday or the day before. And then the Neverwinter card specifies the Dragonborn Veil launch for consoles as being February 8th. That was actually moved up to February 1st. So, yeah, all right. Now let's see what we got here. Let me get there's quite a few little things in here. They're all like wrapped lovingly with care.
In hopes that Saint Nicholas will be there.
What
is that a burrito?
It's a burrito. It is like bubble wrapped to hell and back. Should have brought a knife.
Is that a space burrito? Because it's Star Trek?
Well, it is Star Trek, and it is... It's from Dude Candle. This is a candle from Star Trek called Nebula Coffee. The Dude Oath. I will never leave a candle unattended, etc., etc. Let's see what it says.
What?
I mean, it's coffee. Yeah, it's.
Is it coffee or a candle? Oh, it's a coffee smell.
It's coffee scented. Yeah, it's a coffee scented candle. 100%. That is absolutely coffee.
Okay.
And then are the rest of these candles as well? Is that what all of these are?
What does a Neverwinter candle smell like? Like dragon poop?
I don't know. We'll find. Oh no, this is definitely not a candle. Such a random care package. Ugh. This is the Deadly Draculich Hot Sauce Cult of the Dragon Sauces.
Oh, there we got a new challenge for Ready Check Radio. Once you get 500 more subs.
Yeah, there we go. So we got coffee candle. We got hot sauce. There's more in here. What is this?
You mix your hot sauce with my syrup. We'll just put all that together. And there we go.
I got a wooden cooking spoon that has etched on it, "Bring the dragon back to life." The whole storyline with Dragonbone Vale being what is there? Valindra.
Whatever.
Shadow Mantle, she's back, and they're trying to bring the undead dragons back. And then we got, what is this? This is a, we got another cup. This one says mirror on it.
Mirror? Like Mirror Universe, Star Trek? Oh,
no,
mirror.
Mirror. Yeah, mirror. And
I don't know.
we got the Star Trek logo there, the Nebula Coffee Star Trek Online logo. Just a standard cup. This one does not have the UV light. By the way, Domina has used the hell out of that. She uses that every day. So, very cool. Got another cup. I think that's it.
Very cool, but very random.
Yeah, that is it. That is it. Very random. That was a cup, some coffee-scented candle, and some dragon hot sauce.
And a spoon.
And a wooden spoon.
So you can drink your hot sauce out of your cup while you're smelling the coffee candle, pretending that it's coffee.
I don't drink coffee.
Yeah,
I'm not a coffee guy.
Yeah.
I'm not a coffee guy.
You should have sent me that. I'd make.
I think if you light a coffee candle around me, I'm just gonna be like, "Bruh." But I know Domina will absolutely love that. She drinks like a pot a day. So let's go ahead and get started with the news. Wow, OBS absolutely hated my video this morning. All right, fine. Be that way, OBS. Okay, so let's start it off. We're going to revisit this a little bit. Microsoft, obviously, big deal, attempting to acquire Activision Blizzard at a price of $68.7 billion. Billion with a B. Picking the whole thing up lock, stock, and barrel. That includes Activision and Blizzard and King and all of its little subsidiaries running throughout. That means Microsoft pulling under its banner Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Overwatch, everything. Diablo, all of it. And the plan is to make as much of it available on Game Pass as they can, which obviously makes sense with their longer-term strategy that they've been working on here. Does bring up the concern of exclusivity again. The same concerns we talked about when ZeniMax was purchased by Microsoft, and they kind of hemmed and hawed on the answer there, and they're hemming and hawing on the answer here, although Phil Spencer did tweet out that he is in contact with Sony leadership. They like their partnership, and it is their desire to continue to have things like Call of Duty on PlayStation platforms. We'll see. Obviously, they have contracts that are currently in place that they'll have to abide by, and this sale isn't expected to go through until Q3 of next year anyway. In the interim, Bobby Kotick will still serve as CEO for all of the changes for the next year and a half up through the transition. And while it's not officially stated that he won't be staying on after that, all signs indicate, both from him and from others, that, once they transition, he's just going to go ahead and take his hundreds of millions of dollars from the sale, his hundreds of millions of dollars from his severance, and disappear into the night. Jason, gut reaction, gut thoughts now that we've had a week and a half, 2 weeks to sit on this and see some of the initial fallout and concerns. What do you think?
Well, it's about a week and a half, and the world hasn't imploded yet, so apparently it hasn't destroyed everything in gaming. But yeah, and that's how it's going to be. Whatever changes we'll see will be slow, until you get, like you said, until you get like a year and a half in, then they might ramp things up with, like you said, Bobby Kotick leaving, and if those agreements run out and they decide to change things so they're exclusive to Xbox or whatever. But at least for the time being, it's going to be business as usual for quite a while. In the long run, again, we'll survive. We survived when Activision bought Blizzard, 15 years ago, 13 years ago, whatever it was. And you can complain about how, maybe World of Warcraft has gone on a downslide since then, although it was on a high at the point. The Burning Crusade had just come out, and that was like the peak of everything as far as I hear from old school WoW fans. Everything is just downhill since then. But since then, we've gotten, StarCraft 2, Overwatch, and so on and so forth. So there will still be games. A lot of them will be pretty good. Some of them might not be, but in the short term, it's a big deal. But it's not going to rapidly or massively change probably how most of us play games.
Yeah, for me, the prime World of Warcraft days, and some of it's nostalgia, but some of it is also like seriously critiquing gameplay and systems. For me personally, was Wrath of the Lich King. Loved Burning Crusade, loved Wrath of the Lich King even more, and then it just kind of started going downhill. I still enjoyed it, but it started going downhill for me at that point. What do you think, Troy? I mean, exclusives kind of feels great if you're an Xbox player, right? All these things just come into Xbox Game Pass, as many of them as possible. If you're an Xbox Game Pass user or an Xbox console player, this is nothing but good news for you. Do you think there's a world that Call of Duty goes something that big? Like, I know they're going to do it like on a title-by-title basis, and they kind of already said that about ZeniMax, that it was going to be a title-by-title basis. But Call of Duty, even though it's a little lackluster this year, is still such a big title. Does it really benefit you? Are you going to move that many Xboxes by making it exclusive, or are you going to make more money by just keeping it everywhere? Like, it depends, I guess, a lot on what the long-term strategy here is. If it is, have Game Pass take over on all devices, including maybe a future Game Pass accessible by the PlayStation, kind of like how Netflix is just spread everywhere. Maybe you do, but there's a lot of money you might be leaving on the table there.
That may also be how you push your Game Pass onto the PlayStation, is be like, hey, if you guys will accept our Game Pass on your platform, you're going to have day one access to Call of Duty and all these games that you want. Otherwise, probably we're going to muscle you, and they're going to be at least timed exclusives on the Xbox platform. I would be shocked to see a game that huge not made an attempt to try to sell some consoles. I really think that's what they're going to do.
You also have to look at it from the other side, though. What is Sony's incentive? Like, why would Sony want to open up Game Pass on the PlayStation? And I kind of feel like, Jason, we talked a little bit about this, that you kind of end up with, because you have to.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you want Call of Duty, you gotta do it.
You end up getting put into a jam where you kind of feel like you have to. This does, some in chat saying, Terra Nova saying, the only COD remaining on PlayStation will be the free-to-play Warzone. The rest will be exclusive. If rumors are true, that is not. And we'll cover that in a minute when we get to some miscellaneous news. Yeah. What about World of Warcraft? How do you deal with that, right? It's got the sub. Obviously, it's got its expanded, unlimited trial to certain limits and stuff like that, and you can play forever as long as you don't breach certain level thresholds and things like that. So there's already the ability to get in there free to play with tremendous air quotes around it. But do you see World of Warcraft going free to play? Do you see it as something included in the Game Pass subscription or discounted as part of the Game Pass subscription? If you're taking over, Jason, you've got kind of an MMO on the decline, and maybe you're going to help rebuild that by changing the teams and the focus and stuff, but we got to set that aside because you can't do that quickly. What do you do with this subscription? If you had 12 million players, then you just leave it alone, but you don't anymore. And so do you use that to entice people to maybe come back and get Game Pass as part of their subscription on the idea of, hey, I'll give you the first hit for free, and if you end up stop playing World of Warcraft, you'll probably keep your Game Pass subscription anyway? Or do you try to milk 2 subs like that?
I think what you do is you do like an optional addition. Like if Game Pass is $10 a month, you then say, okay, but for 15 you could have, or 20, whatever they want to make it, you could have all the Game Pass stuff plus WoW. So people who just want to play WoW, are going to get, say for it's $20. That's still $10 a month, so it's less than what you normally pay. Plus they get to try Game Pass, so they get all that stuff on there as well. So I think that's probably the way they would want to go about it, is at least is do like a package that adds on the sub to the additional cost of
Obi in chat saying WoW will never be on Game Pass. They'll lose all the sub money WoW
if they
is
do,
getting.
they might not.
And WoW gamers get it if WoW gamers get it via Game Pass, they're just giving up free games to them. And I would absolutely agree with you if WoW was at 3, 5, 8, 12 million players. I think you honestly, Troy, do have to take a look at, hey, if we have 750,000 players, we have 1 million players, whatever the number is, but we know that it's right in that like ballpark, that area of active subscribers at any given point right now. Is it worth it to try and just keep getting the money off of those people, and in the long term change things around to maybe win back old subs? Or do you get more money and more bang for your buck by saying Game Pass at $15 and it's your WoW sub too, and you know what? I'm going to lose the $15 a month from the 500,000, 1 million active players from right now, but I'm going to gain back a lot of people that are going to give me $15 that aren't giving it to me right now for WoW or Game Pass. And you know what? If they stop playing WoW because they don't like it, they'll probably be addicted to the rest of the Game Pass features. One is obviously a little more long-term than the other, and Microsoft isn't exactly in a position where they need cash right now.
Yeah, I think the sort of the best situation here is going to be for the player that this absolutely does get put on the Game Pass. And like you said, at the lower numbers that the game's at right now, those are going to be additions to the Game Pass that they probably don't have right now. There's so many World of Warcraft players who only play World of Warcraft. I know many World of Warcraft players, that's it. That's their game, period, World of Warcraft. So if you can add those to your Game Pass subscription, those are additions, not subtractions to that.
Takal saying that we're kind of approaching this from the gamer that would be cool standpoint, and I don't think I am at all, because I don't have a vested pony in World of Warcraft right now. But if I imagine, let's say instead of World of Warcraft, it was Final Fantasy being absorbed into the Game Pass. As a gamer, do I think that would be cool? Sure, yes. But I'm not even really looking at it like that. I'm looking at it as, what's the long-term play? Is it to blow up Game Pass above the 25 million people it has right now, to be even bigger and bigger and bigger and become the de facto Netflix of gaming in the entire globe?
Which is what I think they actually want.
Which is what I think Phil Spencer's long-term play is here, is the service itself. I think you can get a lot of people to come back under the guise of, hey, check out World of Warcraft. It's part of your Game Pass bundle, and get them to stay there. But, yes, obviously you are giving up a chunk of subscriptions that you do have right now. So it's going to be weird to watch it play out, Jason. Net across the whole board here, though. Is this good for the Activision employees who have had a rough deal of it for a while, who are still having problems with unionizing some of the teams in Raven Software, who Blizzard did not voluntarily recognize that union, and now Blizzard is pushing for a studio-wide vote to get a supermajority, making it essentially, I would say, impossible to get that supermajority right now. Let's say super challenging at best. So there's still all of this stuff going on. The legal battles, they're all still going on. Is this a net good for gamers, a net good for the employees, and a net good for Microsoft? What do you think, Jason?
Which one of those three?
Go through all three.
Oh, geez, I don't know. For gamers, it'll be okay. Because like I said, nothing's going to change in the short term. You're still going to play Call of Duty and World of Warcraft exactly how you wanted. In the long term, yeah, again, you're going to have stuff merging and stuff being duplicated and whatnot, and maybe stuff going exclusive to one or the other, which is not great, but it's also not going to be catastrophic. It's not apocalyptic. So I think overall it'll be okay. It'll be fine. in terms of the employees, it'll be good. It'll be good for the ones who remain, because there are going to be layoffs. There's going to be some redundancy here, no doubt. Some people are going to lose their jobs, and that's unfortunate. For those who remain, though, I think this is going to be a step in the right direction in terms of all the harassment and lawsuits and so forth that go on. Especially once, if Bobby Kotick and some of his other cronies at the top get, kicked out the door, that'll be especially great. And hopefully Microsoft has a better system or systems in place to report that kind of thing and so on. In terms of, what was the third one? For Microsoft, of course it's good for Microsoft. They spent
that one's really easy. That one's really
no
easy.
kidding. They wouldn't have done it if it wasn't good.
What about you?
Because again, the other thing we talked about too was how Blizzard is Activision Blizzard is a little low priced right now because of all the crap they've had.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. For all the billions they spent, they still got a hell of a deal on what they bought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw people saying it was overvalued. That's just wrong. It's just not overvalued. I also saw Monopoly. No, it's not a monopoly. Stop it.
No. They have to break out the chart again.
Break out the chart. Break it. I get the concerns. Like if you have a concern of bigger companies just swallowing all these things up, that concern is valid. But saying it makes a monopoly, that doesn't.
That's a
just
complete
not.
falsehood.
Yeah,
actually.
that's just not true. Microsoft maybe unknowingly picking up a new title in the Blizzard library. Yeah, they definitely knew. Picking up a new title in the Blizzard universe. They confirmed this week that they are working on a AAA survival game and that they are hiring staff on their website. Yeah, I mean, Activision Blizzard could use some employees. We don't know a lot about it, besides that it's a AAA survival game for PC and consoles. Jason, you did some analysis of like the image we saw just to kind of maybe guess or glean the environment that we were going to be playing. And I'm showing that image now if you want to talk about that.
Got bicycles, skyscrapers, and a floating castle. Woo! So...
Yeah, it's kind of a hodgepodge of generations and fantasy and current and like...
It gives me almost like a Harry Potter feel, or someone I saw commented on like Secret World as being analog for it. But yeah, it's definitely going to be And then if you have the other image, I don't think you have, it showed a woman down there in some sort of like primitive armor and so forth. I think maybe she had a sword. I don't remember. Let's see. Let me look at that.
Yeah, just this one. No, they do pick up Sierra
too, all
the old Sierra IPs. Which means, ironically, Microsoft now owns Sony's de facto mascots from years past in Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. They weren't officially Sony mascots, of course, but they were certainly used as such in advertising. And now those are owned by Microsoft, so that's a bit fun. I don't know. I'm just not a survival guy. This doesn't really do it for me. Of course, I'm interested in what Blizzard, putting something new out that isn't attached to an IP that they have. Certainly, I'm going to take a look, Troy, but kind of sick of survival games. And this one is, years away, right? I mean, they're in the process of hiring. So this is years away at minimum.
And I think realistically, what we're looking at here is going to be a Project Titan #2, where this eventually becomes vaporware and pieces of it become something else entirely.
Oh, wow.
Damn. He's just walking out on that limb right away. Just walking right out.
They're
Old Glory saying
super late to the survival game party.
They really are.
I saw someone commenting too. Oh, maybe now that Microsoft owns Blizzard, maybe they'll bring back StarCraft Ghost.
Yeah. Old Glory saying working for Blizzard is survival already.
Yeah.
The burns going around today. Not the mic burn, just the burns. Miscellaneous news. Let's talk about a couple of things. We mentioned earlier that, according to some rumors, you might see the next Call of Duty on PlayStation after all, because rumors indicate Call of Duty Warzone 2 is already slated for a 2023 release. Now, these are rumors. Warzone 2 would be for PC and current consoles. Along this topic, the flailing Battlefield 2042, EA obviously very disappointed in how that is performing. When you release patches that fix 150 or more bugs twice, you're probably in a bad spot. And they are apparently considering some type of free-to-play component, which, Jason, we thought they were going to have at launch.
Yeah.
after seeing the stunning success of the free-to-play Warzone portion of Call of Duty, maybe a little too late on this one. These are coming from who? Tom Henderson?
Mm-hmm. He reports on a lot of stuff. He's generally pretty reliable, but yeah. With a little extra from Jason Schreier. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, as bad as... Now, the problem with Battlefield, of course, being free-to-play doesn't make your game better. It just makes it easier to get into. And
right.
If you've only got 20% positive on Steam, you're probably pretty bad. You need to fix all that crap first. So,
how often do people forget that? Like developers, publishers, whenever they make the game free to play, making it free to play doesn't make your game better. Like that's not always the answer.
Yeah. And they're not even considering the whole game. They're just considering portions of it, a la what COD did with Warzone, which was stunningly successful. But were solid game modes that even people like Jason and I, when we jumped into them, were like, yeah, all right, this is fun. Like, if you like Battle Royales, this is fun. It's polished and it's free. If you like this like dollar mode, I forget what it was, like picking up the money thing.
I remember that
this is fun. If you like this type of stuff, it's polished and it's fun. Battlefield, not exactly in the same spot. So we'll see if those rumors come true. But those would happen, if that did happen with a Call of Duty Warzone 2 releasing in 2023, that would be under the current contracts of everything and would likely be across all platforms, because it'd be before Microsoft's expected to take over anyway. There's going to be a lot of like regulatory and SEC, eyes on that deal. It's just a mega deal.
Here's a question though.
Yeah.
How well is Warzone 2 going to be tested? You think the QA team is going to put their backs into it?
Yeah, Raven Software's QA. Well, I mean, they are about to be integrated in all the other departments, just to further spread them out. Right?
Yeah.
Unreal. And I'm not talking about the engine.
Mm-hmm. We're not talking about Unity either, because they're definitely trying to get rid of that. Oh.
Yeah. Hey-o. Take a look at this, Troy. We got a new trailer for Palworld. And if you haven't really heard of Palworld or been watching it, you'd be forgiven, because it's been pretty quiet from Pocket Pair. They describe it as a multiplayer open-world survival crafting game. There's a lot of buzzwords in one sentence.
Yeah.
Where you can befriend and collect mysterious creatures known as pals. So kind of like a Pokemon-esque collection feature. The creatures can do anything from building and farming to fighting and work in factories. They can be bred to meet the requirements needed for any of those activities. And we got some footage of basically some cute-ass Pokemon gunning some stuff down, which I'm kind of all here for. I
watched this trailer, and it looked like I had Metal Gear Solid on one screen and Pokemon on the other screen, and I just sat here and got high as fuck. And they just, until they merged together into one weird game, and I was like, I think I'm down for this.
I am down for all the copyright infringement they're going to get hit by.
They even catch their little pals in little like blue colored balls.
Yeah.
But my favorite though is when I was showing this to Q and showed her the picture of the little guys making the guns in the factory. I said they're carguncles.
Talking about the regulatory stuff, Microsoft, there's no regulatory eyes. This deal is happening. Oh, yeah. It's absolutely happening. It's just going to take time because of all the stupid regulatory hoops they're going to have to jump through. And bringing up something I brought up on Gaming Gumbo, Microsoft signed a $3 billion break free from this. If the deal doesn't go through, Activision just gets $3 billion for nothing. Microsoft didn't sign that because they think the deal has a chance of not going through. It's going through. It's 100% going through. Concerns on this one, on Palworld, is there a concern of possibly Nintendo or Pokemon creators not being exactly okay with this? Like, do you have a claim if you made Pokemon that this is mildly infringing?
I've seen a couple of those little pals in this little trailer that looked a whole lot like real freaking Pokemon. Like I've seen a couple. I was like, whoa. There was one that looked so much like Pikachu. It wasn't funny.
Yeah, and then Square Enix can get on there with the carguncles.
With the carbuncles.
Carguncles.
Carguncles. Sorry, the carguncles. Yeah, and I'm being a little facetious when I say mildly, because honestly, until I saw the guns and stuff, I thought I was watching a trailer for an upcoming Pokemon, because I like caught it halfway through while I was proofreading what Q had wrote for the article. And then you had the trailer running, and I was like, Palworld? What the hell's Palworld? So I restarted the thing and watched it, and I was like, oh, shit. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting. It'll be like there's a lot of people pumped, and I'm kind of interested in this too. Like,
Who doesn't want a Pokemon gun
right?
shooting game? Sure,
I would download this.
Yeah,
for sure.
give Charizard a rifle and let's go. Yeah, I'm on board. Let's do it.
I want to run a
Why
weapons
not?
sweatshop with Pokemon.
Exactly. Just a bunch of carguncles building weapons for me. That's amazing.
Execution style now.
Yeah. Content was previously. This was really weird how it shook out on our side. Now let Jason tell you why. But PlanetSide 2's new Osher water continent is live.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go do like the new campaign, check out the underwater stuff, the new weapons, the vehicles, all that stuff. Like, you can go check it out. But remember, this was previously delayed. And now it's available. And all of us, including media, were caught by surprise, Jason.
Because it was supposed to come out in February. That's what they announced. They even asked me to send some. I was supposed to have an interview with their guy on Tuesday. Well, actually, I was supposed to have a playthrough demo thing, sort of. They changed that to an interview, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll get the questions to you. Sent those on like Monday, and on Tuesday they were like, hey, we have the new thing out now. It's like, what? I don't even have the questions through yet. What?
You didn't even send our interview questions back.
I did send the questions, but I thought they were going to get.
No, they didn't send them back.
Yeah, they haven't sent them back. Yeah, that's what I mean. But yeah, they just popped it out apparently. So
I mean, it's just they kind of pulled a Warframe, except they weren't like, even Warframe narrows it down. They're like, this week, and then boom, like Wednesday, we get the presser. It's live. Yeah, they didn't narrow it down at all. They were just like, yeah, boom.
They did narrow it down. Live. They said February.
Yeah, they narrowed
it
is
down not for February.
Next month. For next February is going to be busy, and now PlanetSide not part of it. They just
Rumbleverse also not part of it.
Yeah, Rumbleverse also not part of it. Rumbleverse indefinitely delayed. So if you pre-ordered that one, there is information on how to get refunds for that. Troy, our second tier MMORPG that you and I enjoy quite a bit, but is always behind one other game at all times, basically.
Yes.
Announced a new expansion / DLC, whatever you want to call it for them, because they kind of do the whole once a year thing, and then some smaller DLC packages to flesh everything out. Elder Scrolls Online getting a new adventure, The Legacy of the Bretons, in High Isle. This is a story never before seen in a world never before seen. So I do while I do really love like doing the Morrowind DLC back in that time and doing the Oblivion DLC as the most recent stuff, like, it's nice to see that. I do want to see new worlds come to Elder Scrolls Online. So this is definitely a plus for me. They're going to be expanding the companion system. That's a plus for me. I actually don't even have my first companion unlocked, because I haven't had time to finish that whole quest portion that we started on stream one time.
Yeah, same. I have never gotten around to finishing that. We've just been busy since then.
Yeah, lots of new content, of course. But one of the weird things is that the game is getting a card game inside it. And that's Tales of Tribute, a game invented in High Isle, features both PvP and PvE. Offers players a way to increase their rank through its leveling system, and offers rewards such as furnishings. Also adds to the game's story content when played against specific NPCs. And the number one comment I saw on this one, Troy, was, oh yeah, that's going to let them put some more shit in the cash up.
Yeah, you've gotten robot-y on me, but I think we're talking about the TCG
the card
part.
game.
And
Yeah.
I absolutely 100% believe that for me, it's more stuff. There's more RNG stuff in the cash shop is all it is. They're not even importing, as Helthurian suggested, Zach, that, they import the Elder Scrolls Legends card game. They're not even doing that. They're just making a new TCG just so they can sell you stuff, RNG in the cash shop, and move on with it. That was the big new feature, was what's essentially going to be a new cash shop centric thing. So I was a little disappointed in that. But the overall idea of going to the new zone with the political intrigue storyline, I'm all about that. Some of the most fun I've had in Elder Scrolls Online was in that Morrowind DLC with all the Vivek stuff, and it was sort of a high fantasy political intrigue storyline. So
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that storyline. So I'm looking forward to more of that sort of storytelling in the DLC coming up.
Jason doesn't care because the craft bag is still locked behind a sub. So we'll just skip over Jason's opinion.
We don't even want to talk about the fact that I subbed just for the craft bag.
Yeah, that's literally
don't let them do that to you.
Yeah.
Don't encourage
well,
them.
I sub to them. The craft bag's cool, but I sub to them because it automatically unlocks all DLC.
That's
like
true.
you always have all the DLC as long as your sub's active. So.
Which is
a great perk. And then you can use the crowns that come with the sub to purchase individual favorite DLCs if you want to. That way, when you drop your sub, you've already unlocked the DLCs you really, really wanted.
But since you have like 5 storage slots, you don't want to play it. So,
right? True. All right, let's talk about some first looks. And this first one's probably going to be the one we spend the most time on. Troy, you took a first look at Mortal Online 2. Now, to be clear, I don't think anybody on this panel or watching this show live on twitch.tv/MMOBomb every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, plug, or watching it on YouTube after the fact, I feel like everybody that knew about this game already kind of knew whether or not it was for them.
Yep.
Like, it is that type of game, right? It's not, maybe there's some, hey, if it was free, I would check it out, but for the most part...
It's got a sub.
Yeah, it does. It's a box fee and a required sub. It's not an optional sub. It is a required sub. The box typically, gets you, like you've seen before, 30 days, and then your sub kicks up after that. This is very sandboxy. This is very... I want to say old school in the methodology and systems of being what you do in game makes you better at doing that thing in game. Want to run faster? Run. Want to walk faster? Walk. Want to sword fight better? Sword fight. That is, the very old school leveling up every single skill to the point that
when you're walking around in the beginning, you should be jumping to be leveling up your jumping.
Yeah, it is very, very old school in that fashion, in that type of mold. Now, this is a sequel to Mortal Online. Mortal Online, in the original FAQ, said it was going to close down when Mortal Online 2 fully launched out of testing. That's no longer in the FAQ, but I do believe the plan is still the same for the original Mortal Online to close down. This one only available via Steam, by the way. So when we normally put the caveat of, well, Steam Charts has X players, but they have their own launcher, blah, 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 that doesn't apply here. You have to have a Steam account to play Mortal Online 2. Troy, you did not like this game. Now, you generally like sandboxy games over theme parky games, but this was, what was it? Was it just too old school for you? The time sink is going to be incredible, but if you were looking forward, if you were a Mortal Online player looking forward to Mortal Online 2, you already knew that. You were already okay with that. That was the type of gameplay you were looking for, but you really, really didn't like this one.
No, and I thought going into this sandbox, PvP, make your way in the world, I thought that I was going to like this. I really did. Because, and look, I've been on the other side, the folks who are upset because I didn't like the game. I like New World. Believe me, I understand how you feel when people say that your game isn't good. I get it.
Well, your game isn't good.
It's better than Mortal Online 2, and I'm sorry, it is. The systems that are in place it's not old school, it's not hardcore, it's dated, it's janky, and it doesn't work well and it doesn't make for a fun, engaging game. I understand
Right,
that there's a
but could
world
you-
to go explore. I understand that there's all these things that you can do, and that's amazing. But how many people actually want to get there to use these systems to get to that point in the game? I would argue not many, and the Steam charts, I think, are going to back me up over the next 30 to 60 days.
So the Steam charts have been, since launch, approximately between 7,000 and 8,000. High was just slightly over 8,000.
Launch
There's
day.
slightly over 7,000 right now. It just
Launch
launched a few days ago. But there's still 7,000 people in there, which, hey, that's a far cry better than Mortal Online was doing, which was the point of this, right? Get back your Mortal Online players into something that, okay, graphically, yeah, it does look dated, but it's a hell of a lot better than Mortal Online was. Is there anything wrong with making a more niche game that's going to appeal to a very specific audience, perhaps in this case, an audience you already had and have lost due to time and other options? Is there anything wrong with making something that, hey, you know what? We know we're only going to have 8,000 to 10,000 players, but those 8,000 to 10,000 players are going to stick with us.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having a game be hardcore or slow and have a lot of progression, but I still think you need to at least feel like you've got some quality at the start of the game. Like you've got to have some
you're a big proponent on what's the first half hour look like.
Yeah,
and that is a big thing with Jason, is what's that first half hour to an hour look like? I don't care how good anything is past that, if you can't get me to stick around after that first half hour to an hour, then it doesn't matter how good anything is. But this is literally a game that is built for that 10 hours, 4 weeks, 3 months, building political intrigue across players. Is this one you could really expect to say, man, I expect to be blown out of my chair in the first hour to make me want to walk for a week?
I don't have to be blown out of my chair. I want to sit in my chair and actually play it. And as I look at this, I'm just like you can talk about, it's got to be hardcore, got to be realistic. Look, I can IRL run faster. I'm not a fast guy. I'm not a world class sprinter. I'm almost 50 years old. Shut up.
Right, but that's the whole point, right? If you started running today, a month from now, you would be faster than you are now.
No, but the point is, if I started running today, I would still be faster than Troy runs in this game. That's the point. It's like they're starting with crippled 5-year-old or something run speed, And
look, there are some things that I probably should have clarified a little better than what I did. My problem with the game, and I noted that
Mortal Online 2 fans are not happy with you in the YouTube comments on this first look.
Oh, well.
You didn't give it a chance. You totally ignored.
I don't get it. Because
Troy doesn't have 8 years to work on it.
I love freaking sandbox MMOs, but I don't get it. Those are my favorite games by far, and I don't get it. But look, my problem isn't that I was moving slow. I love the fact that character creation, the fact that I made a big, bulky character, makes me slower than other characters.
I like the sound of
fine.
That. I like you talked about the creation.
Yes, it sounds great until you realize that the sprint, when you're sprinting, made zero difference in my move speed. I mean, I was the one pushing the sprint button, and I couldn't tell when I was sprinting or not. There should be a difference in that. Yes, I should have to skill it up and use it over time to get better at it. That's what the game's about. But if there is zero difference between moving slow because I'm a big bulky guy and trying to run as I'm a big bulky guy, as I was going into the zombie graveyard one time, because this game has in-game voice over IP, right? So you can hear other people talk. I was walking and there was a guy running out. And I say running because the animation it was a run type animation. But he was moving literally like this. Slower than me. And literally the guy, as he runs by me, he goes, man, I'm really moving now.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Like a chance to defend yourself here. Like,
I don't have to defend myself. This is my opinion.
Were you
and
fair?
There are some factual elements in this review.
Right. And that's a first look is not like a full-blown review, and you fully said that because some games you're going to be able to show everything, right? Like Rainbow Six Extraction, one we're going to talk about in a minute. You can show the gameplay, you can show the ideas, you can show the menu, you can show the cash shop, and basically you've shown the entire game.
Yeah, but it would be months before I could show you everything.
Some MMOs, in particular MMORPGs like this, you can't realistically do that without having the first look be 6 months down the road and nobody cares.
There'd be 6 players left in this game by the time I showed you everything.
But were you perhaps a little unfair in the first look, given that this is obviously catered to a very specific, already existed audience. And if they draw in new players, cool, they draw in new players. But this looks to me like, let's recapture our Mortal Online audience that has basically drifted away into a new world where they can do all the stuff, like a bigger world and a better looking world, and still have that very sunken time. I've invested, I've skilled up, I've done this, my character can do this better than your character can. Political intrigue between players. Like, this is a very specific audience. Were you perhaps a little unfair not taking that lens into account?
It's a first look. It's my opinion. That's not the lens that I'm looking through. So yeah, I try to look through as many points of view as I can, but that's not a point of view that I have any experience with. So I'm not going to try to look at it from their point of view. If they're not currently playing Mortal Online 1, why would they come back to Mortal Online 2? Depends on why they left.
Well, a lot of people, honestly,
a
lot of people have left Mortal Online over the years, mainly because they knew Mortal 2 was in development and Mortal 1 wasn't going to get any more updates. Granted, it's not like there was a huge player base before Mortal 2 was, it's run its course, as far as that. Jason, let me ask you on a more broad scale. Can a game like this come out? Now, let's set aside the fact that this is Mortal 2 trying to bring back the Mortal Online audience. Let's pretend like there was no Mortal Online. Can this type of game be made anymore and compete? Because I just feel like these more hardcore, in-depth MMORPGs, the ones where you do everything to skill it up, like your RuneScapes and your Tibias and your stuff like that, I just feel like the audience for that type of game is niche to begin with, and that audience has already invested so much time in other titles that it is a really hard sell in my mind to get them to come away from something they have sunk that much time in to then start over in something new if it doesn't literally knock your socks off in that first hour, which Haven's starter area doesn't do itself any favors, and a barrier of a box fee and a sub isn't doing it any favors either.
Yeah, I don't think there's a long-term future for games like this. So, they're getting the few thousand now, but I think that's going to dwindle quite a lot. Maybe not right away, because like you said, some people are going to just be absolutely maniacal about it and play it 24/7.
If I had the time, I could see myself being invested in a game like this. Maybe not Mortal Online 2,
yeah, that should be a little better,
but a game like this. I just don't have that kind of time anymore.
Yeah.
And if I do get invested in something like that, I want it to be quality stuff. I want it to be fun. I want it to be engaging. You've got games like RuneScape and Albion that are way better quality than this, that can create a fun experience to go out and engage in this world. And this just didn't do it.
Even a typical survival crafting game, like I played 7 Days, something like that feels better than this because you feel like the combat is more interesting, at least.
Yeah, and I really do feel like box price and required sub was just not the way to go. If you were looking at long term, I mean, maybe they were looking at let's grab some cash now and do some cool stuff with this in the future. I don't know. It's a hard sell for any game this day and age to have a box price and a required sub, let alone one that's already going to have a niche audience. So no, you weren't. You don't think you were unfair, Troy, in any way. That's your take on it. It didn't capture you, and you know what? It's got to capture you.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, my first look was geared more towards, hey, folks who haven't played Mortal Online, this is what the game looks like, and this is what it is, and I presented it as what it is, and what it is not fantastic.
From what I'm reading of the reviews on Steam, after you get out of this and get into the PvP world, the game is dying over and over. So unless you research the perfect build and whatever.
Hey, if you're a Mortal Online 2 fan, let us know in the comments like what draws you to this game in 2021. Like I totally would have been with you in like 2000, 2005-ish, but what draws you to starting over in this type of game right now?
It's 2022.
Oh, it is 2022. Yeah, you're right. Let's move on. Another first look we put up. I did this one earlier this week. That is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. There's not a lot to say about like opinions and stuff like this. besides it's Yu-Gi-Oh. Like if you play at your local card game store, your local game store, you play the tabletop TCG, OCG, whatever the hell you want to call it, you're probably going to like this. It lets you play that version. It's not a streamed down or a miniature version like Duel Links was. It's not spending time with recreating scenarios from the old anime like Legacy of the Duelist is. Like, no. You want to play the TCG, you want to do it digitally, here is official software to do it. And you know what? The software does it so well, I thought in the first look, that even I, not a Yu-Gi-Oh player, I literally started learning how to play Yu-Gi-Oh just to do the first look so I could speak intelligently about things. I skilled up my Yu-Gi-Oh. I took the time to walk faster with my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, so now I can run with my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. The only thing that I really did not like about this game was, one, they are super generous with their gems right off the bat. Like, more so than most normal card games that throw a bunch of gems at you at the beginning, and then it's a trickle effect. There is a trickle effect here, but Konami, surprisingly, super generous. If you are a current Yu-Gi-Oh player and you know what you want to build, you will have more than enough gems to go ahead and get yourself one or two of your favorite decks up and running really quickly. If you're a newer player, it's a little harder, and you might want to be a little more careful with your gems until you find the play style you like, and then build a deck around that play style. So just a word of caution from me as a newer player. Don't go blowing your gems on a bunch of packs just to boost up the collection real quick. Maybe hold on to a lot of those gems that you get initially at first. And I also don't like maybe you can remind me, Jason, in Hearthstone, you can disenchant cards into what? It's dust or something?
Dust, yeah.
Dust.
Arcane dust, I think it's called.
And it doesn't matter the rarity. It's the currency is still dust.
Yeah.
Right? You might get more for a rarer card when
Right,
you disenchant it, right? And it might cost you more to create a rarer card. Okay. So it's all one currency done like that, with cost being the difference. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels, that's not the case. There are 4 different rarities of the dismantled material. One for normal, one for rare, one for super rare, one for ultra or uber rare, which means if you want to create a normal, you have to dismantle 3 normals or 2 foil normals. Those ratios are the same throughout the rarities. You want to make an ultra rare, you have to dismantle 3 ultra rares or 2 foil ultra rares. The math is the same, but you have to have the individual currency, which means you can't save up dust from dismantling hundreds of normal cards and eventually buy an ultra rare. You still have to give up ultra rares to make an ultra rare. I wasn't a fan of that. Also, the secret packs being random to a certain degree when you pull from the master packs, you can influence that by creating or crafting the super rares from certain sets instead. But if you just get them through master packs, there's a bit of a random element there that I didn't quite like. It's bearable. It just wasn't for me. Honestly, if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh fan and you want to play digitally, this makes me angry that I still don't have a Final Fantasy TCG official software. That's how good this was done, and it's surprisingly well done from Konami, who I would have expected to, while I think they are beating you a little bit in the long-term gem game, of course, I think they were very, very generous to start with, and it's not a problem for you experienced players to really get rolling and own some people. They need more modes. It's just ranked. That's it. There's no casual or anything, which meant I was getting one turn killed left and right, and it wasn't fun. There needs to be some type of scaling there with the deck power and timer on the turns. Another one. Just go watch the first look for details like that. All in all, I know, Jason, you're going to give it a thumbs down, but I got to give it a thumbs up because it does what it's supposed to do pretty damn well, even if you're not a fan.
My favorite thing has been looking at watching Ethos on Twitter saying, I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was a kid, but now, oh my God, I'm terrible at it and I hate it, or something like that. And yeah, I hated it when I was younger too, and now I still hate it. So, but that's why.
Troy, you're not a TCG guy at all.
Dude, I've quit listening because I hate TCGs.
I quit listening because it was Yu-Gi-Oh!
I like living card games like Marvel Champions.
No RNG there, baby.
That's right.
Jason, you and Zach took a look at, we kind of ran the whole gamut. All 3 of us get to talk about something.
Yeah.
Rainbow Six Extraction, It is buy to play. However, you can access it for free via Xbox Game Pass if you are a subscriber. Give us the lowdown. Was it as good as some thought? Was it as bad as some thought? Where does it end up landing in that whole, hey, this was just a siege mode that you made really, really big?
Well, it's good that we have one game of these three that we actually liked, because I definitely did like it, and so did Zach. But yeah, it uses a lot of the siege mechanics, use a lot of their some of the same operators and so forth, stuff like destructible terrain, that sort of thing. You can even barricade stuff if you want to have a little base to set things up in. But yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun even to do solo. I played a good bit of that by myself. First time I played with another person was with Zach during this first look, during the one we did. So good to get a couple friends in to go around and shoot up some aliens. Definitely check it out. I think I give it a good recommendation if you want to try it out.
Some of the early reviews were talking about progression feeling really sluggish, and I did kind of feel that too, like maybe we're going to see some Halo Infinite changes to the
It's not as bad as
progression,
Halo Infinite.
but it's
I hate Halo Infinite.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Halo's.
The point
was
I think
on
is
launch day.
that operator's max level is 10.
Yeah.
So the fact they don't want you to be, giving a level every single match. I'm up to level 4 in my top one already, so yeah, you can get there. It is a little iffy because you don't heal as much as maybe you'd like between the matches for the guys that are hurt. But I do really like that aspect of it as well, that you have your characters will come out of it wounded, or if you've had to recover them, they'll come out really wounded.
In
the video there, I've got 1 HP. So
yeah, I did like that mechanic, having to go rescue.
So you do have to learn to use a few
that
different ones
that you had gotten killed. You got to go rescue them.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to do stuff solo, you can. Unlike something like Aliens Fireteam's Elite, where they're going to put you in with bots, you can go solo in this one. It's hard. It can be very, very difficult.
It can be. A lot of it depends on what missions you get. Like we found the slaying missions to be the easiest. The ones where you have to like tag different things in different parts of the area, that was harder and took longer. But if it was just kill a thing or two, that was a lot easier. But even solo, I ran a couple after I did this with my higher level guy. I just breezed through them basically for the most part.
I'm really enjoying it.
Going, it's easy.
I think the price point is still wrong on it. Like it was initially $60 and they backed off and went to 40. I still feel like even 40 is a little too much.
It's priced.
Yeah, Game Pass made it free. So for me, but yeah, I mean this is stuff a mode we saw in Siege, and it has obviously been expanded. It's not like they just ripped the mode out and made it a standalone game. They have added quite a bit to it, but I still feel like this was probably a $25 or a $30 price point. Troy, have you checked this one out at all?
No, I haven't had a chance to take much of a look at this one. It does sound interesting, does look interesting. I've just been so busy with other stuff that I haven't had a chance to take a look yet.
Got another first look from Troy coming next week. Next week, either Tuesday or Wednesday, because we've got Free-to-Play Weekly on Monday, and then I've got a PUBG first look that's already uploaded and ready to be published, and I am in possession of a Broken Ranks first look that I still need to upload. So this week, 5 videos on 5 days. Next week, we are already set for 4 videos on 5 days. Could be 5 if Troy finishes one other one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've got a top 10 coming this weekend, so you're gonna be 5 for 5 again next week.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. So stay tuned on YouTube. Let us know what you thought of any of these games in the comments below as we move along to the weekly bombs. All right. I'm going to give a dub bomb to Final Fantasy XIV opening up the Oceanic Data Center and servers. Welcome to better server performance, my friends down under. Hope you enjoy it. Well earned. You've deserved one for a while. Congratulations. Oh, and by the way, you can buy Final Fantasy XIV again if you need to. Jason.
I'm going to give an A-bomb to ArenaNet for the way they're handling the whole rollout of the End of Dragon's release date. They're going to show it off. They're going to announce the release date on February 1st, which people have been waiting for forever because they know it's coming in February, but don't know the date yet. But they're going to have a special thing to tell them when the date is. Just put it out there. People want to know. They want to know now. Don't market this. Whoever in marketing thinks it's a good idea to build up hype is wrong. They are not correct.
In case you missed it. Go ahead, Troy.
You know what? Dub bomb to folks who still like games that critics don't. Like I said, I have been that guy. I have liked games that other people did not. I'm legitimately glad that you still enjoy a game, even though I didn't.
From our live chat, we've got Terra Nova 667 saying, A-bomb to Meatloaf passing. Yeah, that's sad. I was going to do games that don't allow turning off options like with Mortal 2 and head bobbing, but I won't do that. Kiri saying, bomb to Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker ending. Oh my god, was not expecting that. Guardian Vale saying, A-bomb to the name Lord of the Rings of Power. Amazon better not kill this franchise. A-bomb to being an adult. Give back my anti-social gamer days. Bomb to Path of Exile. Love how the new expansion looks. Yeah, Q's preview of the stream and everything is up on the site now. K-Max saying, bomb to Squeenix for making 14 available for sale again. I'm not in possession of a complete edition, and most of you know I hate game subs, but I love a good story. From viewers on YouTube or on the site, Misfit Rain says, bomb to getting World of Warcraft 2. LOL. Microsoft buying Blizzard news, so incoming World of Warcraft 2 announcement. There's going to be a lot of farms. Wonder who got that joke, looking at Bill Gates. So we're going to get a WoW 2 VR metaverse. By the time the game is built, we'll be in Ready Player One setting anyways. Yeah, this is all a joke, people. Don't go looking it up. Ha ha ha. Go ahead,
Except
Jason.
for the fact that it's not a joke. Some of that sounds realistic.
Well, it is a play, against Facebook and the whole metaverse stuff. So a lot of companies are trying to do.
You see they're rebranding the Oculus Rift. It's called the Meta Rift or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Oppie says, if we're going to be real, deep down, regular Joe don't really care about the lawsuits, women, and so on. It's harsh to say, but at the end of the day, people just want good products. The reason why people are mad at Blizzard is because all their products are so bad. If someone says it's not true, just take a look around your house or even at your PC. Made in China, made in India, and so on. Do you think all the products were made with a smile? No, but you keep buying them. There's a difference between stuff you have to buy and stuff you choose to buy. I'm sure this glass is made in China on it because we need something to put my drinks in. You don't have to play World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
but I agree with him on the point that a lot of people don't care. I'll grant you that.
Yeah, I do agree that there's a big portion of gamers that just don't care. You know, whatever's going on at the company, just give me my damn games. I don't think it's fair to say that nobody does. Blizzard has been going down, yes, because of its games, but they also had a very sharp decrease. Yes. A very sharp one, directly related.
Was that Bobby Kotick writing that comment? Because that's exactly what he said.
Yeah. So it definitely had an impact. So I don't think it's to say that nobody cares or the regular Joe doesn't care. I think many do. Like anytime you have those big companies, like remember Nike and child labor stuff years back. I remember that was a big deal, and like Nike took a huge hit. There are big portions that will make companies pay for stuff like this. But I agree, it's not everybody. It certainly isn't everybody. And you know what? I don't even say either side is right or wrong. Like, that's your personal viewpoint. I unsubbed from Blizzard stuff. Just didn't feel comfortable giving them money right now. There it is. I don't blame you for not unsubbing. It is what it is. I'm punishing them. You may be looking at it as, if I'm not doing this, how are the employees getting paid? So both sides of the argument, I think, have merit. Go ahead, Troy.
Sveron, have a good time with your son, Mike. Been watching you guys from Game Breaker days. Always a laugh and want to play Lost Ark, but live in Australia, so that sucks. LOL.
Yeah, that does suck. Sorry about that. A lot of people. 8th, early access on the 8th. Zach will be doing the first look. Got a few more in chat here. A-bomb to Disney and Tencent from Old Glory. Never have I lost interest in a game so fast after the announcement of said mobile MMO, talking about Avatar. Mart's PGH saying, A-bomb to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, too many one-hit KOs. I just went back to Legacy of the Duelist, Link Evolution. Mart's is actually featured right at the top of the first look on a one-turn kill, where he's just getting slaughtered, looking at the camera like, what the hell's going on? So check out the first look. Nasagra, so many bombs this week, it feels like we're in an Outlier game. Mad Martha to bomb to Jason streaming more. He was around the other day when I really needed someone familiar to watch during a difficult time in my life. Look at you, Jason.
I agree. Hey, Martha, I'm going to be streaming. I'll be streaming tomorrow, too, and also all day Monday. So
Kiri says, I forgot A-bomb for Jason making me buy chocolate due to his dream.
Great.
Finishing up with viewers, Matt Shivari says, watch Cobra Kai, you degens. I still haven't watched it.
I'm in season 2. I'm still working through it.
Question of the week last week, we wanted to know, have you ever been banned or suspended from a game for something really dumb? What happened? I gave my story. Jason, have you?
No.
Troy?
No, I've never been banned.
You bunch of good boys. Kara Straza, oh, hey, Kara, says, I've never been banned from a game, though I should have had some suspensions because of my potty mouth, and in true vanilla WoW, I got busted many a time getting into areas that I shouldn't have been able to get into. Luckily, back then, there was also real in-game GMs in WoW that usually they just scolded me. Yeah, so they didn't give you the... Yeah, remember
I remember not in WoW, but I remember in Lotro seeing
You remember
GMs.
people? You remember people? I like people. Go ahead, Jason.
I don't know if I love people.
People are
Ars
overrated.
Jabber, excuse me, says, question of the week, yes, for body and Hearthstone. Shows how much I enjoy card games gameplay. They did unban me, but removed all my progress, and I never touched Hearthstone again.
Womp womp. Go ahead, Troy.
It's sort of, I was once chat banned in LOL for a week or something because of things like Mike mentioned. Go figure. Bomb found a new job, hoping it all works out. Seriously, need a new rig.
Yeah, Kitsuruha, we got to learn. It's like the NFL. They never see the first swing. They only see the retaliation. Mm-hmm. That's the problem. Breckner Catalan says, I play chess against bots and end up cursing them. I'm that sort of guy, so I avoid any situations where I could get mad. All PvP, really, just so I don't run the risk of getting banned. Sitting there yelling at chess bots. Go ahead, Jason.
I'll king to your knight's rook. Knight to your king's rook. Regardy, does getting a timeout in MOBAs for missing / dodging queues count?
Yes. I mean, no, not as a ban or a suspension, no.
No. I don't think I've ever been banned or suspended in a game. I've even used
I don't think that counts because,
games.
like in Smite, you can just dodge a queue.
Yeah,
like,
we all do
5
that.
minutes before you can queue again.
Yeah, you served your penalty.
I've even used hacks in multiplayer games before once, but I didn't play an official Punk or Punkbuster servers. So even if they followed me, even if they found me, what are they going to do? I wasn't playing on official servers. The funny thing was I was using them to unlock things because I had gotten fed up with the RPG elements in a game. A few months later, they added unlock bundles, so yeah.
Surprise. Go ahead, Troy.
Phoenix Dragonis, yes, Overwatch. I found a serious exploitable issue within the matchmaking.
Oh, this is a good one.
I won't go into details as it's likely still exists in some form. I took this information and reported it through the forums as instructed. Well, people began exploiting it, and I was banned for encouraging exploiting the game. Don't you hate that? You go to the forum, they're like, give us all the details. Oh, you told everybody how to do it. You're suspended.
Oh, man.
Customer service simply said, we only banned your account so you can play if you buy the game again. The exploit, in simple terms, allowed you to use quick play matches to encourage matchmaking to give you better teammates in competitive matches.
Yami Kami, did I ever get banned from an online game? Yes. I said this in a previous post, but at one point I had 30 League of Legends accounts. But realistically, I could maybe play 25 of them.
Yami Kami, why do you hate yourself so much?
Since every so often, Riot would ban a few of them. Why, you ask? Well, it's League of Legends we're talking about here. That should be explanation enough. Okay, fine, I'll tell you. I actually don't get agitated only because someone makes a bad move or has a bad game. That happens. What gets me is if I'm in a game that is just absolutely lost, like we were talking about the enemy team's players can like one-shot our players kind of lost, but when people still try to win the game instead of just surrendering it. I can understand that in a ranked game, but not in a casual match. So there you go. Now you know my dark secret.
Here's Jason's little hot take. If you play a game that allows it to get to that point, that it's still going to go on for another 15 minutes if you don't surrender, it's a bad game. Don't play it.
Yummy Kami, I just got to tell you that I am the one that will refuse to hit forfeit in Rocket League when it is 7-0. I just don't forfeit. I want the points. Question of the week this week. Is Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard a good thing? Whether that's for the employees, the games, you as a customer, and what will become of World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, and other titles. They go free-to-play, console exclusives, Xbox Game Pass. We want your opinions on everything we discussed on that deal in the comments below. Don't forget to give us your weekly bombs, bomb for something good, A-bomb for something bad in the world of gaming, or just life in general. Until next week, Troy, where can everybody find you?
Hey, I've been pretty active on Twitter at NoobFridge.
Jason.
I gotta. T-Call says we missed his bomb, and I gotta mention it here. A
Oh.
double bomb to the 49ers for shutting up Cowboy and Packer fans. Oh yeah. Find me on Twitter at Winter Informal, streaming at twitch.tv/Jason Winter.
I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me right there at magicman1, but more importantly, follow at MMOBomb, so we'll send you tweets every time we put up news, articles, first look videos, giveaways, and so much more. It's been a busy week. Until next time, stay safe. We'll see you on the servers. Later.